Hello everyone. In this presentation, I will be discussing the future of transportation. I began my research looking at the sociological changes of our society in the last few years. The children growing up in these times will one day be the ones buying what we design today. Therefore, as a designer, when our project is finally released, it is not instantly outdated, as it usually takes 3 to 5 years for cars to reach production. Looking at how society has changed in the last few years, we can make good estimations of what people's brains will be like in the future and how they will perceive the cars that will be made. 10 years ago, about 32% of people had a smartphone. Now it is 86%. This may be due to the rise in popularity in social media. With a simple refresh, constant new information is at your fingertips. Through a process called variable ratio reinforcement, you are constantly excited and rewarded to see new fresh posts. Heavy social media users perform worse on cognitive tests, especially when examining their attention and their ability to multitask. I think this will cause a rise in popularity for autonomous cars, as less people want to learn to drive. With more autonomous cars on the road, I believe this will change the motoring landscape and how people interact with their cars and have emotional connection to their cars. I wonder if they will encourage you to look more at a screen or relax from the outside world without technical stimulants. A changing world will also affect how we move in the future. Due to climate change, internal combustion cars are banned from production in the UK by 2030. From what I have researched, electricity is not as clean as people think due to the mining and cost of materials. And obtaining pure hydrogen for hydrogen fuel cells is also costly and very impractical for motorists, as the fuel stations are few and far between. My personal favourite solution to the emissions problem is biofuels. For example, running cars on hemp fuel. For one thing, hemp can be used to make methanol, which is a petrol substitute, and biodiesel, which is suitable for diesel engines. While hemp ethanol is made from fermented stalks, biodiesel is produced using the plant's oil. Incredibly, hemp diesel is 10 times less toxic than table salt. Due to hemp being a weed, it is very easy to grow, and therefore does not need high quality farmland. This is thought hemp to be a low environmental impact crop, compared to typical seed oil like crops like soybeans and canola. It can also be harvested 3 times per year. In 1941, Henry Ford made the first hemp car using hemp plastic. It ran entirely on hemp ethanol and was said to be stronger than steel. I believe with the right funding, we can turn our automotive industry into a hemp-based material manufacturing process. Not only cars, but buildings as well, as hemp concrete can also be made, along with thousands of other products made from hemp cellulose and oil. Not only that, but it is fire resistant, making incredibly safe cars in fire accidents. A quote from Henry Ford: "Why use up the forests which are centuries in the making, and mines which require ages to lay down, if we can get the equivalent of a forest and mineral products in the annual growth of the hemp fields?" Proof of biodiesel working well is the Koenigsegg CCXR, which on normal octane runs on 806 brake horsepower. With biofuel, due to the fact biofuel has a higher octane and better cooling characteristics, the power goes up by 25% to 118 brake horsepower at 7,200 revs per minute. And no, despite looking very similar to marijuana, it does not have the same properties when smoked. If I were Prime Minister, I would boost funding for farmers to grow hemp and for factories to turn hemp into plastics. This would do a great deal of good for the environment. I believe the reason why this has not happened much already is oil companies having too much financial power over the market. The multi-billionaires behind the oil companies need to step down and let the hemp take over, in my opinion. The world needs to wake up to what hemp can do and how it can save the earth. Thank you for listening, and I hope you learned something new today.